Good morning everyone, welcome to my channel. So today I'm just bringing you up to speed on my blue block. This is going to be my title page. So it is going to sit there on the front, and then as I open it we start with number 1. So I just started piecing down some fabrics and stitching them in visible stitch down so they're all holding. And I thought I'd better quickly show you where I'm at before it gets too far along and it's, finished and it's just too much to sort of absorb. So all I've done is I've picked 3 blue fabrics, the big blue guy here, a little bit of floral here, a little bit of floral up here. Then I went through my stash and I had some fabric I got from Rachel, and I don't have a lot of it, and it's a real thick hempy piece. So I just put a little square there and trimmed it with some couched embroidery thread, 3 lazy daisies, and then my flower from my little tree is drifting into that space, and I'm working some French knots around as well on the flower. That came from Sarah's pack that I got. She had printed that on some cordage or some tape, so I thought that's perfect to sit in there. Another little piece of Rachel's fabric there. It's so precious because I've only got a little bit of it, so I tend to just snip little pieces off. That's from the fabric roll. My thought is on that is I'm going to try and embroider it and stitch in all those hollies and then put some seed beads in for the little berries, but I don't have small version. That's the color I want. It's a cobalt blue, but I don't have a baby version of it, so I may need to go for a visit to the bead shop where I got those and get a tiny seed bead. I picked up the grey and there's little ones in that, but I didn't in the blue. So they're down at Browns Plains. For all the Brisbane ladies, Browns Plains has a great bead shop on Browns Plains Road. It's sort of up from the shopping centre. If you want details, message me and I'll let you know. Now, what else have I done? I've also put in a handmade piece because this is my title page. I sort of wanted to tell a bit of a story up here, so I'll probably put my initials in this corner. I'm just looking at my camera. Am I still filming? I just glanced up at the TV and it's gone. Yeah, I still am. I just can't see it on the big TV, so bear with me if it's a bit all over the place. This doily, I cut into this doily and used it to create my flower in this panel. See that there? Those 3 little pieces of doily came from this. I had chopped a bit out previously, so it was definitely a cut-in doily. But then there was just this good half, and I thought before I lose it forever in little bits, because I just love it, I've trimmed it straight and stitched it in, so it's become part of my background. This here and these little white ones, they're pre-made satin flowers that I've picked up somewhere. I think the ones with the gem in them are from Ribtech, which is in most $2 shops. This guy I picked up at a lady who was liquidating all of her sewing, so a big garage sale, so she had a heap of these satin flowers. I've never seen them around, so I'm not sure where she got them from. She made babies' clothing and also headbands to go on little babies' heads, and these flowers often were stitched onto the headbands, so she may have got them from overseas somewhere. This braid here, I bought a boho pack of things, trims, probably 12 months ago, and this blue was in there, and I thought, perfect, that's what sort of started the whole piece. I spotted that, and that's my base, so I finally got somewhere to put some boho trim. And then from that I found the gold thread, which is from Steph Francis. It came as a twisted together pack of threads. Those there and the gold was one of all of them sort of twisted together. That satiny thread was in there as well. So she's in the UK, Steph Francis. So I've used the satin thread here. I've used the gold here to create my branch, and I just sort of sketched a bit of a branch. The satin pops up here again in just some stab stitches. I might put some little pearls on the end of those stab stitches. I then went hunting and I found this yarn. It's gumnut yarn, handmade, hand-dyed in Australia, colour 367. So that's perfect to sort of blend in. And that's where I'm doing some French knots just to sort of create some berries and some interest around my branch. Little owl to sit in on my branch. Now this fabric here, that's part of my jelly roll. And my jelly roll is Hollywoods by Three Sisters. So I spotted that on my snippet. So it'll be really good to have on the title page the fabric pack that I've used. Having said that, those two aren't part of it. They're some pieces I just picked up from the girls in Toowoomba, which is, what's the name of their shop? Angel Patchwork or Patchwork. Oh, goodness. No, the name slips me, but they've got a great online store. Very easy to order fabrics from, and I saw those two, and I thought they just matched in beautifully. So that's where those two fabrics come from, the Toowoomba girls. So what else have I done? I've seed stitched beads here in the champagne, trying to bring this gold up into this corner. I've put a row of beads here in that gumnut grey, and I just don't know. I might end up cutting them off. At the moment, I'm not liking them. It just looks like a line of beads. It's sort of not, maybe it probably needs some textiles to sort of soften it a little. I just don't know. That might disappear by the time you see an update on this particular panel. So what else am I planning to do here? Around the edge, between the running stitch, which is a crochet cotton, I'm starting to stitch just a single bead in the gap. And I sort of like the look that that's giving. It's giving a real jeweled look. So I plan to go all the way around that edge using those beads. So if I could get a smaller version of them to do some more work with on the page, like through this holly, it'll sort of bring it all together. They may not have them, but that would be my hope. I do have another bead that could be used there. When I went through my stash and got colours that I thought might be able to be used. Oh, I think it's sitting on my coffee table next to my chair. No, there it is. This one here. That could be berries, but I think they're too big. Yeah, they're too big. I'm going to need the tiniest little bead like that guy. Maybe that comes out and I use the grey in there. Maybe that's a better use. Yeah, that's definitely coming off. I don't like it for some reason. I think it's too bold. It's too, when I look at that piece, all I see is this line of beads. So that's definitely coming off now. What else have I done on it? My plan along the bottom here is just at the moment to keep this pretty simple. I've got this piece of tatting that come from my grandmother's stash. It was probably about a ½ metre long. So she was obviously planning to make a doily out of it all. So wherever I can, I sort of like to pop a little piece in my work. So I ended up putting a nice long run of it through here, if you can see it. So it sits on top of her doily, little tatting, and then the braid. So I don't think I'm going to do too much here. I'm going to concentrate around the perimeter. This fellow here, I will add snippets of things, like a snippet roll piece. So already I've tucked in this little bit of lace that was left over from doing this. I thought I was going to take that out into that space. Where's my piece of lace? That's 4 scallops. I had cut it at 5 scallops and it sat out there into the tree, but it's crowding that flower there. So I ended up cutting it back, so hence the 4, and I had just that little piece left, so I tucked it in down here. So that whole bottom will become quite embellished with all sorts of bits and pieces and buttons and, you know, just become quite thick. And then out of it is coming this branch that is a smattering of whatever's been collected down the bottom. Let's be technical. Let's say this is the seed pod and the branch is coming out of it. No, that's just silly. Anyway, I digress. I think that's about it that I've done. So I can carry on stitching my beads around the outer edge, more French knots, just to sort of make this look more busy at the moment. It's a bit too light on with stitching, and then I'll go through with seed stitch, and I'll probably seed stitch everything that's left in the background, which will be, it'll really give it some texture. Okay, I think that's it that I've done there, yeah. So I'll update you, I guess, on where this goes in future videos. As we sort of move through the project, I'll bring it out and say, okay, this is where I'm at or finished. I do have something funny to show you. I had planned, when this project was originally announced, to get a beautiful old book cover from overseas, and I'd been looking for months and months, and they're just so expensive. So I finally found one on eBay, and it had a broken spine. Well, the spine was intact, but the pages had pulled out. So the lady had reduced it to sell it, and it was $10. It came from France, and it postage was like $11. So I thought, for $21, that is really good. And it was leather, and it was a prayer book. So it's got a cross on the front. I thought, fantastic. I'm sure I read the dimensions of the book. I'm positive I did. So I had visions of my journal to have this leather with a cross for Christmas. Beautiful. $10, $11 postage, so $21, and I would have a book. And here's the kicker, 1888. I couldn't believe it. Click, bang, into the shopping cart, mine. So excited. And I think I mentioned in the first couple videos that I've got a cover coming, but it hasn't arrived yet. It's arrived. You should see it. It's spectacular, absolutely spectacular. But we have a small issue, as in small. This is the book. You can see it on my hand. Look at the size of the thing. So I've misread the measurements, and instead of it being 8 inches by 10 inches, it's 8 centimeters, so 3¼ inches by 11 centimeters. So I went back to the description, and she hasn't actually put centimeter or inch. She's just written 8 by 10¼ So I just figured that she would have been meaning inches, 8 inches by 10¼ $21 sold. But no. So this little baby itty bitty prayer book from 1888 has arrived, and she is gorgeous. Look at her. Look at her. She's beautiful. Marble paper. This is the first time I've seen marble paper in its original form. That's the breakage in the spine that she mentioned. She was forthcoming in that as well. I thought, that doesn't matter. I'll have a book of pages that I can use for journaling. And that's the little book. Look at the gold on the side. Look at this little baby. How can you be angry? Well, I'm not angry. I don't get angry. But how could I be disappointed when I've got this little treasure? Little prayer book. French. Can't read it. But just gorgeous. Oh, look. I was looking for little notes. I thought maybe it's not French, it's Roman. Oh, who knows? Look at that. No, it's French. They're referring to Rome. Yeah. La something de communion. Communion book. Isn't that beautiful? Look at the gold gilding. I don't know if you can see the shimmer there. So my beautiful little prayer book is now here. Oh, let's see if there's a a message in there from ancient times that probably says, buyer beware, read your measurements, you silly goose. Maybe a monk has slipped a note in there foretelling the future. Some crazy crafting lady is going to buy this book, turn it into a journal of stitchery. Oh dear. So there's my little baby. I've had one idea, but I don't know if I'll do it this year because I'm creating too many ideas and got so much work here just in this project. Is I could make the cover into a small bunting that could hang on my Christmas tree, and the cover could be the start of the bunting and maybe spell out the words Christmas or Merry Christmas. But I don't know. At the moment, I just want to admire it, look at it. It's pretty special. And just remind myself to maybe ask a few more questions. And if those measurements, that 8 by 10 1/4 is inches or centimetres. So, yeah, buyer beware. But I was just so excited when I saw it. That would have made a fantastic Christmas journal with the cross on it. Oh, anyway, the gold gilding's all one off. That would have looked so pretty in its day. That was all gold. Oh, lovely. Anyway, I thought I'd show you my new little book. All right, guys, I will leave it at that. That's a bit of an update on my title page for my blue book. As I said in a previous video, my title page for my red book is the reindeer because I did 2 of the first prompt, my enthusiasm. So this will be my second title page. So really happy with the way it's coming together, and I can literally spend hours, you know, meandering around there, adding all sorts of bits and pieces. And I probably won't stitch it down straight away. Well, I'm not. Oh, yeah, I am on the title page. I won't stitch it down straight away because as the project develops, there might be, you know, bits and pieces that come into the project that I can attach. So that's all good. Okay, everyone, I'll leave you alone. It's only a short video, so I will see you all in the next video. Thanks, guys. Bye.